That's what I love most about her. You know, she isn't just one thing. She's so much larger than that.
Hello, everyone. How is the morning? What's up, guys? Ready to start a new week? Feeling fresh? It's gonna be a fun stream today. We're doing a viewer request for lunch for Scat, who donated quite a bit of biddies to us for our New York trip. And their request that they wanted me to make on stream today was a Greek soup called Avgolemono. So it is a chicken broth base. So we have a nice little chicken here that we're gonna make some broth from. And then it gets a nice seasoning with lemon.
Yeah.
Sack! Thank you so much for the 11 months in a row. Amazing. I'm gonna make you a VIP, Sack. How are you doing today? And hello, Muppets. What's going on? R.I.P. Luke Perry. Oh no. R.I.P. Should I know who that is? Am I a bad person if I don't know who that is? I'm not good with like movie references or anything. Carrying on though. So Greek lemon egg drop soup, which Scat says is very difficult to make. I have made this once before in culinary school. So about 8 years ago. So it's been a while for me. It'll kind of be a first, I guess, as well. And we are going to make everything from scratch. So we'll have to start by slowly simmering the chicken in some water until the meat is just perfectly cooked. Then we can pull the meat off the bones, put the bones back in that water with some aromatics like onion, carrot, and celery to make a really nice broth. And then we'll strain it probably an hour later after that. And then we can make the actual soup part, and it has some orzo in it as well. I think it's gonna be pretty tasty. You're all right, Sack? Just doing some chores, need to go grocery shopping, but you're being a lazy bum. Nice. Things are good here. Sammy just headed out. He has a job interview today, so that's exciting. And yeah, I'm just chilling. The sun is shining. I can't complain. Muppets, he played Dylan McKay on Beverly Hills 90210. Okay. I mean, I still don't know who it is, but I do know that show. Haven't necessarily watched it, but I've heard of it. Okay, so to go along with our Greek soup is we're gonna make some homemade pitas today as well, because I don't know about you guys, but I like to have bread on the side when I eat soup to do a little bit of dipping. So we're gonna make homemade pita today. That's gonna be the first thing that we do on stream, because as some of you may know, we need to let that bread proof up and rise for usually around an hour. And so we'll kind of intertwine that with the chicken broth today, and I think everything will time out pretty perfectly. And then our little vegetable for the side dish is we're just gonna make a nice traditional Greek salad. Some cucumber, tomato, a little bit of sweet pepper, some feta, and just some nice red wine vinegar and olive oil and oregano. Simple, simple, because that's really how it's made. It's chilly there in Texas today. You know what? It's chilly here today as well. We have a pretty cool breeze. We were thinking about going for a bike ride later, but I think we're gonna do a workout inside instead because it's just really chilly. And for here, because it's humid, once you get chilled, like that is in your bones and it's so hard to warm up. And that's how you easily get sick. So probably gonna just stay inside today as well. Being a lazy bum sack. I'm in. Okay, so recipe command has all of the links for the recipes I'm using today. There are 3 different links. There's one for the soup, one for the pita bread, which we're starting with, and then one for the Greek salad as well. And they are also posted in Discord. So either way, you do have access to the recipes I'm using today. And we're not going to use a mixer to make the pita bread today. The recipe doesn't use a mixer to begin with. And this isn't a dough that we have to knead a lot. So I think it's going to be fun if we do everything by hand. It'll be the most traditional, right? Let's move this over. We are going to leave the chicken out to kind of warm up while we mix up our pita dough. So we need a bowl. The ingredients we need some yeast. I already measured out the milk. We also need some water, some sugar, flour, and salt. Kind of your typical dough ingredients. They add chopped thyme leaves into this as well, which I think is a really nice addition. But my thyme plant is not doing so well outside right now, so I'm just gonna leave it. And I'm totally okay without having the thyme in there, because I think the other dishes are gonna have enough flavor in them. But I think you could also do like rosemary, would be really nice inside of the dough as well. And then we just need a little bit of olive oil too, right there. So the first thing we gotta do is combine the sugar, yeast, water, and milk in a bowl. And then we're gonna set that aside for a couple of minutes until the yeast starts to get active and it's gonna get a little bit frothy in there. One important thing to note for this step is you want your liquids, so your milk and your water, to be around room temperature and maybe a little bit warmer. So for that temp, I usually go with around 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So I am gonna have to warm this milk up just a touch in the microwave. We don't want it too hot though. If you have it too hot and then put the yeast in, the yeast is gonna die. And then if we have this cold and we put the yeast in, it's not gonna wake up. So there is a happy spot, and I have found that 90 degrees Fahrenheit is the best temperature. Hey, Black Knight, how are you? Good to see you in here. And you know what? I'll just combine the water, I think, in here. Maybe if I pour enough hot water into our cold milk, it might bring it up to temp enough. So 160 milliliters of milk and 80 mils of water. And what the milk is gonna do in this recipe is actually make the pitas really nice and soft and supple. Compared to if you use water, you're gonna get something more crusty and hard. So anytime you use dairy products in a bread dough, it's gonna make it more soft. So keep that in mind. So 240. Still need to heat this up just a touch, guys, so probably about 10 seconds in the microwave. Because if you go too hot, then you're gonna have to let it cool down again. And then you're just wasting your own time. Couple more seconds. use it just to see. So I'm usually pretty good with just knowing it with my finger. So this is at 88 degrees, which I think is perfect. Anywhere between 85 and 95 is your safe spot. Oh, thanks, Black Knight. Yeah, we're doing good. Sammy's away for a job interview right now. It's just in town, so he should be back by the time we have lunch. Hey, Nike. How are you doing, man? It's Nike 2G, the Christmas poo. What? Okay, so our water and milk in the bowl. We need 1 teaspoon of sugar. That is the food for our yeast. And then we need 2 teaspoons of yeast. That. And we just want a nice active dry yeast today. So I just use the Fleischmann's traditional. I don't know if it's gonna focus. But it's not the quick rise one. If that helps you guys. So 1 and 2. And so we can see that the yeast is already kind of like waking up, is those little balls of yeast are starting to expand. And if you leave it long enough, it will get frothy. And that's actually exactly what you want. So while we wait, we have to mix together the flour and salt in the other bowl. So we'll just set that aside. We'll see the difference after we leave that. And the flour is by weight, which is a really good thing whenever you're making bread doughs or baking, is that's going to be your most accurate measurement. And what we're looking for is 320 grams of flour and then 1 teaspoon of salt. So I'm just using all-purpose flour today. If you do have a bread flour on hand though, you could always use that. And this recipe is supposed to make 6 medium-sized pitas. They're not going to be too big. And I believe this is the fluffier style pita rather than the hollow pita. 1 gram out. There we go, 320 grams of flour. I'm just gonna leave this flour on the side for now, I think. So we might need it a little bit later when we're pressing our pitas out or rolling them out. And then our salt. So 1 teaspoon of salt. You really don't want to forget this because this is going to give you strength in your dough and also help season it. And we don't mix the salt into the wet ingredients with the yeast because salt is actually a yeast inhibitor. So it wouldn't let the yeast do its job if we mix that in right away. So that's why we let the yeast wake up on its own first, and then we'll mix the salt in after it's already active. So we'll just give this a quick stir to make sure the salt is combined evenly with the flour. You're doing good, Nike. Just got off from Dunkin'. Then you gotta work Taco Bell tonight. Holy dude, you're working those doubles. My man, is everything okay? And also, how is your pops doing? Today and tomorrow are your last 2 shifts at Taco Bell, and then you're going to days. Oh, well, that's nice then. A little bit of a better schedule, I feel. Okay, there we go. So if we bring this back, you can see how the yeast is kind of dissolving in there. You can even give that a stir. Good morning, iShot. How are you doing? We really want the yeast to be pretty much all dissolved by the time we mix the flour in. So we feel like it's not. We might have to heat up the milk just a touch more. Then we have to be really careful with it, right? As we don't want to go too hot. Because this isn't really getting too frothy yet. Maybe the bowl, the metal bowl, was too cold. That could also be a reason. Because pouring the warm liquid into a cold bowl, obviously that's going to cool the liquid off. You're excited for the egg drop soup. Are you egg-cited though, iShot? Nike, you just need monies. And from what I heard, he's doing all right. Good, good. Your sister doesn't like you and hasn't for years, and she won't talk to you. So you just find things out through your mom. Oh man, that's sad. That's sad. I think a lot of families are like that though these days. We're having issues in our fam jam too with my brother. I don't know why he's being like that, but we're not gonna get into it. Okay. So I'm gonna pour this back into this container because I feel like the yeast should be getting more frothy, and I don't want to carry on without the yeast being fully dissolved. So you can see that there's still some at the bottom of that bowl. So a small couple seconds in the microwave, and then we'll mix the dry into the wet. Like maybe 10 seconds. Not even. Okay, that feels warm. Yeah, that helped. And these are just like little tips and tricks that I have come across in my days. So sharing this stuff with you guys, I think really helps. Because sometimes things just don't go as planned, and it's good to know how to fix these things. And I think taking this little bit of extra time to make sure the yeast is good before we make the bread is we're just gonna get a more consistent end result. So now I'll just give this a little stir, and I can't see really any more yeast granules in here, which is great. So that means we can carry on now. I think it's the fact that America has abandoned the American family night dinners in the evening. Yes, that was such an important part in my life growing up, is like my mom always had dinner on the table for everyone to sit down together. I think that's really key, man. Okay. So add the oil to our yeast mixture now. So 1 tablespoon of olive oil. And that's also going to be the other ingredient that helps the pita dough stay really soft. So anytime there is fat or dairy involved, you're going to get a nice end result. And 1 tablespoon is quite a bit. So a nice extra virgin olive oil. now we're just gonna add the flour to this a little bit at a time. So give it a stir. Don't worry too much about the lumps in this step because we are gonna knead it a little bit to make it smooth. And then it says, put this aside in a warm place for about 40 minutes to let it rise. And then we can divide it into our 6 little pita dough balls. And then we can bake off our pitas, which actually just happens in a frying pan on the stovetop. They don't even go in the oven. Hey, Timos. Welcome in. We love new people here. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm currently making our pita bread dough for our pitas later. So see how this is getting thicker? That is what we want. Just a little bit flour left. Call you Tim. Sounds good. Where are you from, Tim? And do you love food as much as we all do? Or are you just here for the fun times? Okay, this is getting a little bit difficult now. We're gonna switch to our hands. We're gonna get a little rough with the dough. Gotta work the flour into it. And it might get a little bit messy, I'm not gonna lie. It looks good, thanks. I really enjoy making pita bread. There's something about like cooking it in the frying pan I really just love. Kind of the same as tortillas. And it doesn't have to rise for that long either, so it's a pretty quick process compared to most other breads that have to rise for at least a couple hours. Okay, this dough feels really nice, guys. Getting a nice yeasty smell as well. So see how I'm pulling the dough over this way and then pressing it? So I'm kind of kneading it with just this one hand and then also trying to work in any extra flour at the same time. And then what the kneading is doing is creating the strength in the dough. Helping the gluten form, which holds in all of the air or the carbon dioxide that gets released when the yeast starts to eat the sugars. So see how the dough is also getting nice and smooth? That is what we want. Just kind of turn the bowl around so we can really get all that extra flour into the dough. So you could do this in a mixer as well. But like I said, this dough doesn't have to get kneaded for nearly as long. You can already tell just by how smooth it's getting. So sometimes you can even knead like this. I think the best way is to use your knuckles. I think you get the most power and strength out of that way. So it says to only knead it for about 4 or 5 minutes. So I'll do a couple more turns. You can see I'm not adding any more flour to this. It's getting a little bit sticky. And then we're just gonna give it a nice little oil in the bowl so it doesn't stick. Oops, sorry. So it doesn't stick to the sides when it starts to get all puffy. So that looks good to me. Didn't even get that much on my hands. The dough feels nice. You're from the Netherlands. Amazing. I've been there, Tim. Mind you, the only place I've gone is Amsterdam, but I really did love it there. So I'm making pita bread dough. Doing some Greek food today for a viewer request. Hey, Uncle Stinky, what's going on? How are you doing today? Yeah, it says brush the bowl with a little bit of oil and add the dough. Cover with a towel and let it rest for about 40 minutes until it doubles in size. So I'm just going to pour a couple of drops of oil just over the dough. Just use a brush to brush it on. Because obviously as this expands, you really want to make sure that the sides are oiled too. Otherwise they will start to stick to the bowl. Make it a little bit difficult to get it out of there later. So I'll give one little brush around this way too. And then that'll make our lives much easier later on when we go to divide this dough. And you guys know my trick about proofing bread doughs is just to kind of halfway preheat your oven. So you get a little bit of heat going in there, but you don't want it too hot.
Oh, yeah.
What do we got going on in here? Night Drifter with the tier 1 sub 2 months in a row. Thank you so much, Night Drifter, and welcome back. It's good to have you in here. I hope you are well. You're just chilling today, catching them on house cleaning. I still have to do that as well. Thanks for the follow, Tim. Amazing, Night Drifter. Yeah, everything's good here. So here's our clean towel. Just gonna put that over our little pita bread dough. And my little oven trick, so pretend you're preheating your oven to 350 Fahrenheit. Just press start. Hey, Mikey! Welcome in, man. How are you doing? Yeah, Twitch has allowed us. Allowed us what? You can have 4 total now. Wait, what? Did I miss something, Ryan? Yeah, Mikey's a mod now, guys. Just for like timing purposes of my stream. Because I do have quite a few mods, but a lot of them can't be here at this time, and I know Mikey can. The trust is there, my dude, so hopefully you enjoy that. Did you know we can have 2 tier 1 emotes now? I did not! I did not, man. What? Oh, it's right there. Nike, do you want to be mod? You can be mod too. Scat! You made it. I'm totally gonna write that down, Ryan. So we can have another emote? This is the greatest thing ever. I'll be contacting Solid then. Should we keep rolling with the onion theme? Basically, Nike, how Mikey got mod. I know that's hard to say. Nike and Mikey. He just asked me. I mean, if you want that responsibility, let me know, guys. I can make you a mod. I have no problem with that. Yes, Tim, I actually have Stampot written down on my request board. So, that was the oven heating up for about what, 3 minutes while we were chatting, and it's just warm in there. So I just shut it off, and that way we have our nice warm chamber so that our bread stays nice and happy, because yeasts need like a nice warm spot so that they can keep rising. If we put this into the fridge, it would not rise at all. It would rise really, really slowly, and you would barely notice a difference. So a nice warm place. Best way to do that, in my mind, is an oven. Especially for us home cooks. So I'll put that in there, and I will set the 40-minute timer. And we'll check it at that point. See if it's maybe doubled in size by that time. Yeah, I have Stand Pot written down, Tim, so that's awesome. It is going to be made coming up in the next month or so. Affiliates now get 2 emote slots. That's amazing, Ryan. Thank you so much for letting me know that. It's like, between Twitch and like Streamlabs and Stream Elements, they've been coming up with so much new, awesome stuff for streamers. I feel like I can't even keep track. It's gonna be around 5 emotes in total for affiliates. That is so cool. You want the Pink Panther. You have Urtin soap? So it's a soup. What is that? That sounds interesting. Okay, so pita bread dough, done. Now we can move on to our Greek lemon egg drop soup. So like I said, we have this lovely chicken here. Got a whole fryer chicken from the butcher shop yesterday. Raised here on the island without antibiotics or hormones. I feel like that's very important these days, because that will start to mess with your body. So this little chicken costs around $15. If you guys are wondering the price that I'm paying here. And so we are going to cook this chicken whole in water, just simmering it until it's just cooked, so that we can pull the meat off the bones and then use those bones to even make a nice deeper broth flavor. Because those bones still have a lot of flavor in them. You don't want to waste that. So I think this nice big pot will be perfect. Check the inside cavity. There's nothing crazy going on in there. So chicken basically just fits in the pot, and we're just gonna cover that with water. So for this size of chicken, it looks like the pot's gonna be really full, which is fun. Because once you take the chicken out, I mean, the disbursement of the water is, there's probably only gonna be maybe 3 liters of water in there. The chicken is taking up quite a bit of room. And we're gonna start with cold water for that. That way we'll get a nice clear broth. If we start with hot water, it's gonna draw out all the impurities from the skin and the bones of the chicken. And it's gonna make our broth cloudy, which we don't necessarily want for this. So just run in some cold water, and then we'll start this on a, I guess, medium-high heat, just to get it going. And then once it simmers, we'll turn it down. It's a green soup. Ooh, okay, sounds good, Tim. Stat, I don't know if you saw, but I did give you all the recipes on Discord. So I don't know if you're cooking along with me today. But either way, at least you'll learn how to make this properly. This is a full pot. Whew. medium-high heat to start. Get that simmering. And notice how we're not adding any salt to that right now. Because eventually, as we make that broth and then the soup, you are going to have a little bit of reduction of the liquid. And if we salt it now, the salt is going to concentrate in flavor and it could be too salty. So we're going to wait till the end, or at least the middle, to make sure that it doesn't get too salty. The cavity. We had to check, iShot. Nike, you can't wait to get your gold sword. It's soon. So soon. You and Sack? What is it, 1 month left? Nike, you have what, 3 months? Sack's at 11. Yeah, the only thing about VIP, so you can't be a VIP if you're mod. So I did add in, I think about 20 VIPs to the channel yesterday, so you can see the nice little purple diamond beside Scat's name. They've been here for almost a year as well, so I felt like that was fitting. You're not cooking along today, no problem then. Nike, you never got to cook the turkey, it went bad? No! That's the worst. Oh, a split pea soup. I love that kind of soup, Tim. So good. Do you use like a smoked pork hock in it as well? VIP Lurker is your official title. Let me see if I can add you in right now. Sack. VIP. Save. It should work now, Sack. Let me know. It's up to you, Nike. Whatever you want, man. Whatever makes you happy. You can work something out. Picturing Sammy fish pumping right now. Yeah, we'll see. Oh, fist pumping. I hope so. It's a nice close job. So, while our broth is going and our bread is proofing. Yeah, it worked, Sack. All your colors match. That looks so good. All of those things in a row. Like, I love purple, blue, and pink. Yeah, fish pumping. So good. Okay, so we're gonna get our aromatics together for the chicken broth. So onion, celery, and carrot. We're just gonna rough chop them because that is gonna get strained out. So you don't have to focus too much on your knife skills. So it's a really quick process. And that trio is called Mirepoix. And that's what's typically used in soups and broths to give a nice vegetable sweet flavor. So I'm gonna do 2 stalks of celery, taking this one out, and I think we'll just clean it up because it's not looking too good. Gonna have to run to the other side and grab, I'm gonna do 2 onions, I think. Got a nice flavorful broth. How late do I think I'm gonna make Stampot? Well, I do have all of March planned, so I'm gonna say probably working into April, unless I can switch things around. I mean, I can definitely work with the menu I planned. You got Fire Bubba Kush at your dispensary? Holy dude. Yeah, is that how you get caviar? Oh god. Black Knight. Terrible things in my mind. It's really purple. Smells like pine and flowery. Nice. I picked up some Romulan shatter yesterday. BRB, guys. one yellow onion and one sweet onion. I think that'll be a nice combo. Yeah, Romulan, super good. I have not gotten into it yet. You're solving a Rubik's Cube while watching? Dang, dude. You got some skills. You can solve a Rubik's Cube in like 4 minutes? That's actually really impressive, man. Also, cheers, guys. Having a coffee today. If you can't tell. I feel like I have a lot of energy right now. Okay. We'll cut the onions on a separate board so they don't smell up our nice wooden one. Cheers, Mikey. So trim up our celery. It's always good to wash celery too, because a lot of dirt likes to hide in all of the crevices. But I'll clean up the pieces first. So just trim off any parts that are a little bit browned. This part, we'll just cut that off. And then just shave this part off. Looks better. A little bit of waste, but at least we can use most of it. So we'll give that a quick rinse. Guys, we picked up the nicest lamb wrap yesterday from when we went on our adventuring to the farmland. It's called Machosen is the area, and that's where I used to volunteer at the farm. Basically, right beside the farm I work at is the sheep farm, where we get all of our lamb. So let's check it out real quick, because I think you guys are going to be excited. Sammy and I were definitely excited when we saw it. Like, look at this thing. Look at the fat cap on it. It's unreal. And then, like, the meat. It's a really nice lamb wrap. And this cost 26 bucks. But if you were to go out and have a dish with lamb wrap on it, I mean, the entire dish would cost more than this $26 here. So really excited. We have, like, I'll have 2 bones, and then Sammy can have like 2.5 bones is the way that it was cut. So we are going to give this a nice little rub tomorrow on stream, first thing. Flavor it up before we cook it. It's gonna be so good. And it's kind of like a Middle Eastern style lamb dish tomorrow. So if you guys want, start to think about the spices that we want to see on the lamb. Okay, so like I said, rough chop on our celery. We don't have to cut it any further. It's like 1-inch pieces. Zach, you've never had lamb. I am pretty picky about lamb. I mean, most of the lamb that you get in the store is usually from like Australia or New Zealand. But here lamb is a really popular animal or livestock that gets raised. So yeah, it is a little bit expensive, but the flavor Sam and I have found is even better than the Australian and New Zealand one. So I think for the money, it's worth it. Because it's not like we eat this every week. That's a nice treat meal for us. And plus, I know I can make it for less money than if we would go out and let someone else make it for us, right? So that's how I justify it. Okay, trim off our ends of our carrots. Your anniversary's in 4 days. And it'll show your 9 months. Yes, Nike. Scat meat. What's my favorite drink? Yours is milk because you come from the Netherlands. My favorite drink? I mean, most of the time I just drink water, but I do love coffee. I don't think my favorite drink is milk, although I do love chocolate milk as a little treat every now and then. Your family growing up made ends meet, so you didn't eat fancy stuff. Oh, I never had lamb growing up. My mom never cooked that for us either. We ate pretty simply as well in my household when I was younger. It's only now, since obviously I've become a chef, that I like to explore cooking with different meats. So I totally understand where you're coming from. It's like the first time I saw lamb and ate lamb it was a very different experience, right? And it does have a gamey flavor. And I think that's what turns a lot of people off of it. And that's why I'm very particular about the lamb that I do buy if I'm going to spend the money, is I don't necessarily love that gamey flavor. Like, there's a limit for me as well. And I've definitely bought lamb in the past that was way too gamey. Like, almost even I couldn't eat it, and I do love lamb. Your favorite drink is green tea, Nike? That's so healthy. Thanks for the follow, Logical. Welcome in. I think next week on stream, guys, is we're going to do a little bit of garden planning. And maybe even planting some seeds. Because it's almost that time. Gotta get our seedlings going. It looks like our water in our broth is just coming up to a simmer. Keep a close eye on it back there. What kind of stuff would you guys want to see in the garden this year? Like, did you like the eggplants and the Brussels sprouts? Because those were new things that I grew last year that I haven't grown in the past. Would like to grow maybe some squash. Even if it's just zucchini. Oh, you get a cramp in your hand when you solve a Rubik's Cube? That's hard work, you know? You like Brussels sprouts, Nike? Different carrots? Yeah, peppers. Peppers again for sure. And then we'll make a proper hot sauce. Habanero. Yeah, the habanero, I think we just planted the peppers too late last year because we were moving to this house. So we planted everything about a month late. So that's why we didn't get as much yield out of the peppers that we wanted. Okay, so onion. I like to cut it down that way and then make like 4 or 5 slices. So you get nice big chunks still. I think we might need a bigger bowl. And let's just take a peek at this chicken with you guys. So you can see there's some stuff rising to the top of the pot there. In the water, there's a little bit of fat bubbles, as well as this stuff is actually called like scum. So those are the impurities that are gonna start floating up that are coming out of the chicken bones. So there's just a little bit of agitation in there, which means we don't want it to come to a full boil. It'll make our meat tough and also make our broth cloudy. So now we can turn it down to like a nice low heat and just let that slowly simmer. You'd like to grow carrots, Mikey. Yeah, we have some carrots in the garden still that I think I have to pull out. When we got that really cold weather a couple weeks back, is everything kind of froze. But I think the carrots are still good in the dirt. Have to check it out for sure. Okay, just put our onions in this. Spring onions. I have those going Black Knight as well. Is there purple spring onions? I planted them in the fall last year because I read up that that was a nice crop that would grow over the winter. So pretty soon here, we'll be able to start using those on stream. So the top of the onion is green, and then the bottom bulb part of the onion is really nice and purple. They're called purple Apache onions. But right now, everything is staying covered up so that it doesn't die. But I think that our frost season here is pretty much done. So here's our aromatics from our broth. It looks like a lot of stuff, right? But like I said, we are going to strain that out after about an hour. So I'll just set that aside by our broth. Crying a little bit from the onions. Getting emotional in here, guys. Emotions are running high. Blue Stilton is blue cheese. Yeah, that's one of the strongest blue cheeses, Nike. But it is also one of my favorites. It has really, really nice flavor. You're trying to get a cannabis strain called cheese? Unreal. Okay. So just checking if we need anything else in our broth. I feel like we should put in maybe a couple of bay leaves. Would be nice too. Oh no. And by a couple, I mean one. Because we only got one. Still counts though. And then maybe some garlic too, hey? Garlic would be good. Let me just write a little note for me to take some more bay leaf from work, from the bush. Fresh bay leaf. Way better than the store-bought one. Gotta get that on Wednesday. Take a little branch off the tree and wash it up. Let it dry out. So adding garlic into a broth as well. We don't have to mince it up. We can keep it in the nice whole cloves. We just have to peel them. And I think that'll be perfect for aromatics. You've had cheese. Awesome, Ryan. Ooh, that'd be good, Nike, yeah. Blue cheese with like red meats. Such a good combination. So 3 cloves of garlic. Because if you've ever had Greek food before, you know that they love to cook with garlic. So we'll just put that over there. We have about 16 minutes left on our bread dough, and it's actually looking like it's doubled in size already, which is awesome. So while we wait for that, we can also start to prep up the Greek salad. Why not? So really simple Greek salad today. We're gonna do a very traditional Greek salad. So literally just tomato, cucumber, feta cheese, some peppers, Kalamata olives, sprinkle of dried oregano, and then what they usually do for a dressing is just some red wine vinegar and a nice olive oil, and then obviously salt and pepper. You shouldn't need too much salt because feta cheese is really salty. So if we do our recipe command, the link for the Greek salad is the bottom one if you want to follow along. And it says we're not even supposed to use the yellow sweet peppers. It's supposed to be the more bitter green peppers, which I don't like at all. So I guess we are adding a little bit of sweetness today. And then you do want a nice Kalamata olive for this. Which I have in the fridge here. These lovely guys, the nice purple ones. And to make your life easier, I would try and get them pitted. And then for our cheese, it's usually served in big chunks on the salad, not actually crumbled, how you usually get it. So we'll try and make this the most traditional as possible. And I'm just gonna plate it on a plate, I think. And then we'll dress it at the last minute. So let's use this plate. We have cucumber. For tomatoes today, using some really nice grape tomatoes. I find that the smaller grape or cherry tomatoes are still the sweetest during the winter time when it's not tomato season at all. So try and look for that rather than like a Roma variety. But the other tomato I would pick, as far as flavor wise goes, is the nice hothouse tomatoes that you find on the vine in the store. Also a good option. Tastes like a tomato. Doesn't just taste like cardboard. Feeling good about it. So the other thing that Greek salad has is usually some red onion slices. I'm gonna go with some nice thinly sliced shallot instead. So more of like an onion and garlic flavor. At the Guy Fieri's Taco Dive Bar, they got a torta slider. Whoa. Beef burger mixed with chorizo. That sounds unreal, man. Chorizo torta is like my favorite. Do we know what season it is? What? What season is it? Here's our pepper, guys. I'm gonna give this a little wash for sure. It's pretty dirty. It's duty. Mikey, you like olives? I love olives. I've always loved olives, even when I was little. Shamrock shake season. I saw that. Where were we? Oh yeah, Sammy and I went to a cafe yesterday. Had a little like Nanaimo bar, as they were doing shamrock shakes. And I was like, oh yeah. So I think probably half a cucumber will be enough for 2 of us today. We got a Sammy to feed, so don't want to skimp on the veggies. You guys know that. Woohoo! Hammy Tom Tom, thanks for hosting the stream. It's Pancake Day tomorrow? Is it Trove Tuesday already? Holy smokes. Easter's gonna sneak up on us, guys. Tommy Ham, we missed him, hey? Okay, so I like to still cut my cucumber around bite size, so maybe this part we'll leave pretty chunky like that, so it's thinner at the end. And then what I like to do is just cut this in half one more time lengthwise. And then line this up with your knife and your nice chunky pieces. And then you get these nice triangular chunks. Sometimes I find when I eat Greek salads out at a restaurant is the veggies are cut almost too big, or it's difficult to eat. You can like barely even fit the piece of tomato or cucumber in your mouth. You're like awkwardly like trying to eat it. So let's keep everything bite-sized. Hey Jane, welcome back. Yeah, you finally caught me on stream. How's it going? Good to see you in here. So we'll make our base of cucumber, I suppose. Probably just gonna mix everything together on this plate, and then we'll garnish it with the feta and olives. So our little grape tomatoes, I like to cut them in half, and that way you're not stuck trying to pierce them with a fork and then get tomato juice all over yourself because it's spluted everywhere. Fair amount of tomatoes, I think. Let's not skimp. We'll just cut those in half. We'll go lengthwise. You're making your own breakfast as you watch. Nice. What are you making? This knife needs some help. If your knife can't cut through a tomato, you might need to sharpen it or put it on the steel. So let's see if this helps. It helped. Yes. Oh, I can't wait until we have the fresh produce from the garden to cook with on stream. And we will be doing gardening streams this year as well. We got that set up. We can spend some time outside together. Harvest the veggies together and then come back inside and cook them? I don't know what's better than that. You're making a scramble. Beef stew meat, mushrooms, spinach, and eggs. That sounds really nice and healthy, Jane. I'm in. Send some over. Okay, our pepper. You made a scramble yesterday, Nike. So how I like to cut my peppers apart is just slice off the bottom bit, turn it around, slice just kind of under that stem part. So you get something that looks like that. And what I do is go in where there's like a line on the pepper, and then you can kind of open it up, and then you can trim around the seeds. So take that white part out, and then the whole bunch of seeds. Just like that. And then you get no waste on the pepper. And it's nice and clean. You're not stuck picking up seeds that went everywhere. And so to deal with the top part is I usually just break these pieces off of the stem. And sometimes just give the inside maybe a little bit of a trim if it's discolored. But I find that is the best way to take a pepper apart with the least amount of waste. What kind of scramble did you make yesterday, Nike? Okay, so I'll put those pieces aside. I might just munch on those. And then we'll do this into thirds, I think. I'm gonna clean up just that little bit of white that stuck on there. This is just like a spongy, tasteless part of the pepper. That's why it usually gets cut out anyways. And then this part, quite a bit there. And now we're good to go. And we're just gonna do nice slices. So let's say about 1/4 of an inch. Potatoes O'Brien with cheddar asadero cheese and scrambled eggs with green onion. Yum! You guys are cooking up some good stuff. That makes me happy. Scrambles are such an easy thing to make for breakfast too. And usually they are pretty healthy. Okay, there's our pepper. So kind of an even amount of all the vegetables, right? Nice mix of everything. Plate's getting pretty full. We're gonna move on to our shallot. I'm gonna use the same cutting board we used earlier for our onion, so that we don't make our cutting board taste like onion. So we'll trim off the end. And we'll cut it in half. And we are only going to use half today. So I'm going to use the smaller half. Peel that. And I'm going to cut this in half lengthwise again. Like that. And then we're going to make really nice thin slices this way. I'm going to go as thin as possible, because I don't want the shallot flavor to overpower the other vegetables when you're eating this. So if we leave this in bigger chunks, then you'll get like a really pungent flavor in your mouth when you pair it with everything else. So the thinner we make it, the less intense this flavor is going to be when you start eating the salad. Just kind of separate all of the layers of the shallot as well. And we can transfer that on top. We'll see if Sammy yells at me saying that this is too much shallot in there. But I think it's quite a healthy amount. I think we'll be just fine. Put this pepper and shallot aside. And we're gonna give this a nice little toss to incorporate everything together. And then, like I said, we're going to garnish with the feta and the olives on top. It is a rustic looking salad too, so trying to plate this really artistically, just let things kind of happen. Let things fall, make it look natural. Don't make the plating look like you spent too much time on it. I think something like that looks very nice. Nice medley of vegetables. Open up our olives. Yeah. We got this. Look at what the lid says, if it'll focus on that. Eat well, laugh often. Love it. That's a good motto, isn't it? 30 seconds on our bread dough timer. I'm gonna shut the timer off before it goes. And show you guys what's going on here, because I think we got some happiness. Look at how much that expanded. It looks perfect, hey? So nice and smooth. So we'll finish up our Greek salad, and then we'll start dividing the dough into the 6 pieces of pita that we're gonna make later. Really good olive. Really nice and briny. A little bit fatty tasting. That is my one stigma as well when I go out to eat Greek salads, is there's never enough olives on it. But it's totally understandable because the olives and the feta are the most expensive components of the Greek salad. So that's where they usually cut costs. They skimp. That's why I choose to make this at home. Because then I know I'm not going to skimp on the best part of the salad. That looks good. Obviously we don't want to overdo it with the olives and feta either, because those are really salty ingredients. And in my mind, the best feta cheese is actually a sheep's milk feta. It's the most creamy. So let's see if we can get a nice chunk out of here that we can actually cut into cubes. Smell it? Still good? Yeah. This piece looks good. I'm gonna grab the cutting board again. Just flip it over. So I don't want the brine to get into this wood either. And I think that's enough feta for this salad. Guess we'll see once we cut it up. So, like we said, nice chunks. I think I'm gonna cut this in 3. Lengthwise, and then probably in 4, so cut it in half and then cut those 2 pieces in half. And obviously the feta might crumble on its own, but we're not going to crumble it with our fingers any further. So what do we got, 12 pieces of feta? I think that's perfect. Oops. So Jane's cooking a scramble right now. What's everyone else cooking today? Talk to me, guys. What's on the menu? Nestle those pieces of feta right in there. This is looking yummy. You had mince and rice for dinner tonight. Nice. That sounds yummy. Okay, so we're not going to go any further with this now. I'm just going to put that back in the fridge, and then we'll dress it right before we're ready to serve our meal later. How yummy does that look, though? Mince and onions and mushrooms. What type of mince? A beef mince? right back, guys. I'll let you watch the chicken for a sec. I'm just putting the feta away in the other fridge. And what I'm gonna do actually with the chicken right now is I'm gonna take the internal temperature of the legs, and as we can see, the breast is sticking out a little bit there, so that's not getting cooked, so we will have to flip that over. So I'm just gonna stick the thermometer right into the leg. So 105. You want to go close to the bone because that's where it takes the longest to cook. So yeah, it's hovering around 105. I think I'm going to give this a flip over right now. But we do want it to come up to around 145 Fahrenheit internally. That's our safe spot. We know that we'll be able to take the meat off of the bones at that temperature. Try and do this without splashing. Nice and slowly. There we go. Now our little chicken butts sticking out, but that part's already cooked, right? And so, coming back over here, we're working on our pita dough, which has risen for the last 40 minutes. It's doubled in size, which is exactly what we want. Now we can divide it into our 6 portions and actually start to roll it out. So the pita dough doesn't need 2 rises like your typical bread dough does, which is also why it's part of my favorite dough recipe to make, because it's easy and quick. You don't even need a mixer. Okay, so good thing we oiled the sides, because look, it's not even sticking. You can see how nice and puffy the dough got. And I think I'm going to divide it on a plastic cutting board. Something like this even would be our best option, I think. It's nice and warm. It smells amazing. Bowl came out pretty clean. And so we need 6 pieces. Just kind of pull this apart so it's nice and even. You can give it a little pat down. Awesome, Tim. Yeah, the dough is looking really, really nice. So I'm going to divide it down the center. Kind of pull that apart. And then cut 3 equal pieces from each side. Looks pretty good. And now we're gonna ball it. So I'm just gonna flip that over. what I'm gonna do is start to use my fingers and my thumb to pull the dough into itself, and then kind of use my fingers to crimp it at the bottom. So stretch, crimp, stretch, crimp, and then we'll get a really nice smooth ball. The other way to do it is to put it on your board or the counter, even works really well, and use your thumb to push the ball and your fingers to pull it, and that'll kind of keep stretching it into itself as well. Some people, like most bakers, can do this with both hands at once. I used to be able to when we were rolling pizza dough every day. And then you get a nice smooth looking ball like that with not too big of a seam underneath. If you need to, you can also just pinch that closed and then flip it back over this way. So one nice pita ball. The cramp is over. You were making a wrong move. Oh no. So once again, start like this to get your initial ball shape. And then you can put it down, push with your thumb, pull with your other finger. Move that out of the way. You're hungry? I'm getting there. It's gonna be a little bit of a later lunch for us. That's okay. We gotta wait for Sammy anyways. You're hungry because of the good cooking. We have a disclaimer for that. Disclaimer command, guys. I'm making you hungry again too, Mikey. No, we're not sorry. Do you guys like eating Greek food? It's actually a really healthy cuisine to eat. And that's been known for like a long time already. The Greeks eat really well and they live a long time. Hey, Mrs. Ruby. How are you doing? Good to see you in here today. You have chocolate, Tim. But you don't eat very much of it. That's good. Everything in moderation, right? Okay, our last little pita ball. The weird pizza lady. You washed your hair today, so you're in the 9-hour drying process. Me too. Yeah, usually if I have a shower before work, it's still wet when I get home 12 hours later. It's insane. So I feel ya. So line these little balls up, and we are gonna let them rise just a little bit more. So once again, go back to our clean cloth and just cover those up so they don't dry out too much. So maybe, let's say about 10 more minutes, and that way our pan can heat up during that time. And the pan that I'm using to bake these off is just a cast iron frying pan. And that way we can get nice even heat and get a good even bake on our pitas. Yeah, long hair problems indeed. Is that how a girl's hair works? Yeah. I mean, usually when I go to work, obviously I tie my hair up into like a solid bun in the back, and that's why it doesn't dry. It's all bunched up. But yeah, hair problems. Right, guys? Okay, so I guess while we're waiting, let's kind of get together the other ingredients for our Greek lemon egg drop soup. So we will need some dill chopped. We'll need 1/3 of a cup of orzo, which we have here. So that's going to get cooked in the soup broth. So we can measure that out as well. And it says 2 eggs. 2 large eggs, which we have duck eggs, and I'm still going to use just 2 duck eggs. We also need a bunch of fresh lemon juice, and I'll probably even garnish with a little bit of lemon zest for that extra little kick at the end. Nice fresh flavor. So we can juice and zest some lemon as well. And that way, by the time our chicken is cooked and our broth is going, it'll be a really quick process to bring this soup together. Guys, can I get a shout out for Mrs. Ruby, please? A fellow cooking streamer. We can also shout out Ryan, a fellow cooking streamer. We got the community in here today. Do I have merch? I do not. I've been thinking about getting something together though. She ordered Tabitha pizza with double pineapple, garlic, and spinach and ham. Interesting. I'm sure that would be tasty though. I am a fan of pineapple on pizza. The struggle of the pineapple haters. It was too much. I mean, to each their own. Okay, orzo, we'll just put that over by our soup pot. And I think I'm gonna temp the chicken again, guys. Let's see where we're at. It was a troll. Tabitha hates it. I love that. Self-proclaimed stream rivals. The best. That's the greatest way to troll. It was so much pineapple. Yeah, that would even be too much for me, I think. Double pineapple. Oh, goodness. So chicken is at 125 internal. So a couple more degrees, about 20 more degrees, and then we'll be there. Turn that up a bit. Let's grab our lemon and dill out. Tim, you made tomato soup today. I love tomato soup. Actually, I love a lot of different kinds of soup. One of my favorite things to eat for sure. Death Fury! We'll still go by that name. For those OGs that know. Okay, I'm going to turn on our pita pan. Just to a nice medium heat. To get that preheating while we wait. We need a zester, or microplane, if you will, for our lemon. It's always better to zest before you juice. That way there's no wastage. Hammy Tom Tom, welcome in. Oh, thanks, Mrs. Ruby. I grocery shop only once a week, typically. And we've actually been using like a grocery delivery service where obviously someone does the grocery shopping for you in the store and then it gets delivered the same day. And we've been having a lot of luck with it. It costs about $6 for it to get delivered, and it saves me like 2 hours of time driving all the way into the city and then coming back. And so far, so good. I think we're just really lucky that we do get a lot of fresh ingredients out here on the West Coast. Feel pretty blessed about that. And I'm also glad that you guys notice. It makes me feel good. It has been so long, Hammy. And you're streaming right now? Is that what's happening, Hammy? Have you been streaming? So just some lemon zest for garnish on our soup. This is where we get all of the lemon flavor without the acidity. You want to be careful that you don't use too much of the white stuff, the pith, because that's the bitter part. We got a wild Sammy. Guys, Sammy's back. And how are you?
What do you think?
You're good, good?
I'm good.
Sammy's good, good. So, about a teaspoon of zest. Sammy's back.
There's a lot of people in here. Hi, everyone.
Lemon is good for extra taste. Yeah.
Need a snack.
Sammy needs a snack. He's hungry. So put that aside. And now to loosen up the juice in the lemon. Sammy, hi. You want to roll the lemon on the board.
Processed fish.
Sammy has a job?
Yeah.
Nice.
Start tomorrow morning at 7:30.
Holy, 7:30.
7 to
early.
4:30 every day. That's it.
That's early.
But he wants me to work Saturdays eventually, so I can run the plant on Saturdays. Because I want to work on Saturdays. Because you work on Saturdays.
Yeah.
So he's like, we'll get the plant running so you can work on Saturdays and have Mondays off.
That's amazing.
He's like, I either get smart people or I get 30-year-old kids. I was like, I'm not that dumbass.
Yeah, go ahead, Jane. Post the link. I trust you that it's safe. Sammy he's not cooking. He's still doing a food-related job in a fish processing
So I
place
told him
here.
what I wanted to do in 5 years. I was like, I want to have a food truck in 5 years' time. He's like, I will help you out with whatever you need.
What?
So they have 3 big smokers. So if it comes to that point and we need a big chamber smoker,
You smell like fish already.
oh, it's because I had some salmon.
Oh my god. I'm just like, holy. So obviously the product was good then.
Yeah, it tasted awesome. So it's all depending on what people order. So they process orders for people.
Oh, cool. So it's all done fresh
Yeah,
then.
so right now, tomorrow I'll be doing sable fish that's smoked.
Ryan says, did you fish pump when you got the job? AKA fist pump?
Yeah. But I use the salmon head
Oh my god.
fish pump.
Okay, we are gonna have to strain this lemon juice when we go to use it later. Sammy's happy. Smelling good in here already. So I'm gonna take the chicken out of the broth now. Let it cool off just a touch. And then maybe Sammy will help us with our pitas, because look at this dough. It's looking so good.
Second floor, you just look over the soup basin.
Oh, amazing.
So I'm processing fish overlooking the basin.
Yeah, that's all right.
He's like, it's a mind-numbing job, so bring music.
You'll be fine then.
I was like, oh, that's perfect. ASMR of Sammy.
ASMR.
I wonder if I can bring the camera setup to do fish plant with everyone.
Yeah, IRL fish plant stream. The
Thanks,
guy seems
Dad.
like he's pretty chill then.
He's like your dad's age, but acts like your dad, so he's actually really, really awesome to work with already.
I like that.
He likes to swear, so I got to swear. He has an e-bike, so we got off really quick on that.
Nice.
actually more than big wheel for me starting.
Holy. So gently pour your broth into the strainer. You can see it's pretty clear still, right? That's why we're gonna pull the meat off of the chicken. So we don't want it to dry out. We don't want to keep the meat cooking in there. So pull the meat off, and that way it stays nice and moist, and we'll put it back into the soup later when the broth is finished. But no one likes dry chicken. Or at least I hope they don't.
I love dry chicken.
Oh no. There's
And then we
something
started
wrong.
talking about circulators. He likes the circulator.
This is a big chicken.
That's a big chicken.
Just need some help. Actually,
Need help?
I think I'm okay.
Need help?
I think I'm okay. Oh yeah, there's some color to that broth already. Hello, chicken. What's up? Hammy, you've not been on in a while. A lot of personal stuff has been happening. Are you okay? I think that's what is the most important question here. Are you okay though? Do you need help? Talk to us. I think the link is working. Just posted like a really small photo. Put that aside. So over to the soup pot for a sec. So now, put it back on to like a medium heat now. We can add our aromatics. So carrot, celery, garlic, bay leaf that we chopped up earlier while we were waiting, as well as a couple of onions. Actually, just gonna pop out for about 30 seconds, have a quick little bathroom break, and then we'll come back and finish this up.
The best part of the new job is I can bike there in 15 minutes. No more driving to work. I think that's the best part. It might be not a cooking job. Hey Mikey, what's up? And chemo. But I get to work 7:30 to 4:30 every day. I get to come home at a normal time. Maybe cook Caitlin some dinners. But she gets
Be
better
a little
food
bit
at work.
late for dinner.
I can make you midnight snacks.
Yes. You are getting help.
Tim.
Okay, well that's good.
I like Tim.
Yeah, this is Tim. We have Tim. He's from the Netherlands. As long as you're getting help, Hammy, I think that's the most important. If you want to PM me,
Or me.
or Sammy even, and talk about anything, let us know, man. Your well-being is the most important. So egg drop soup. This is a Greek-style soup where you actually whisk the eggs into the broth, and it makes like these little nice strands of egg. I know it sounds kind of weird, but it is really, really delicious. It is outstanding. Yeah. Okay, so our broth is going. Our chicken, we're gonna let it cool off just a little bit more in the colander. So why not work into our pita breads? We still have to, I believe, roll them out. So it just says press on the dough and divide it. We did that. Use a rolling pin to roll out each piece of dough to a circle around 20 centimeters in diameter. Okay. What I've actually used in the past is my tortilla press. And that actually works, I think, the best for this. So let's do that. It sounds strange. It really does, right? And I was saying earlier that the last time I made this soup was 8 years ago in culinary school.
I do have to
been
wear
a
a
while.
beard net. But I'm not shaving off that beard.
Nice. At least you don't have to shave it up. So, cast iron press. We need a Ziploc liner. I don't want any of that today. What's this? This is a tortilla press. Sammy is having some tequila, I guess.
I got a
Which
job.
is not Greek. He's excited. Sammy with different clothes. Is he Sonic? He just might be Tim. And so what I'm doing is cutting along each side of the Ziploc so that we can stick it in the press and then nothing will stick inside the press.
I'll call it show and Rook should be around in T-minus 10 seconds.
Yeah, Rook, where are ya?
Wait for it. Hey Nike, what up?
Sammy's
Cheers.
back.
I got a new job. I don't have to go very far anymore. So I'm pretty happy about that. So the job pays.
Hey, you could still be a part-time dishwasher at my work then. Guys, we're looking for a dishwasher at work. Anybody? Work 5 to 11. Wednesday to Saturday.
What's the hourly wage?
I don't know. Gotta talk to chef. Cheers for Sammy. He got a job. Da fuck. Wait 10 minutes. He just got up. Got tequila somewhere. I'm sure he'll just have another one with you in 10 minutes.
I'd have another one with the fuck.
Yeah.
Done.
Okay, so line our press.
They never
With
got
our
any
Ziploc.
tequila for us. We're almost out.
No. And I think this press, you can find it on Amazon, guys. The brand is called Victoria Tortilla Press. I think it's only about $20.
I think it's like 50.
50 now?
50 Canadian. I think it's like 25 American.
Ooh, Bailey's. Yum. So look at this nice little ball. Look at this little guy. It's all puffed up. Ooh, it actually might stick. I'm gonna just put a little bit of oil on there. No stickage, please.
None stickage. None.
Nope. Oil. Might have been too much for the first one, but we'll see. Just spread it out because obviously it's going to cover more surface area as we press it. So with tortillas is you don't have to oil the Ziploc. It's not as sticky of a dough. So there we go. Close that up. Bring it right to the crease. New cams, Hammy, you noticed. We did. We made some upgrades this year. And so now close that part. And then we flip this over and press it.
3 new cameras. All mirrorless.
Oh, it's coming out the sides. I think we're okay. Move that back a touch. There you go, guys. I think I might actually turn this around because it's thicker on this side. Or we can just smush it with our hands, maybe. long as it didn't stick. Boom! How awesome was that? And so these are gonna make the fluffy pitas. They're gonna be nice and fluffy in the middle. They're not gonna be the type where that you can open up and have hollow on the inside. Haha, yes, Tim. Be careful. This show might make you hungry. Thanks, Hammy. Yeah, we're really excited about everything. So now, we had our pan preheating this whole time. Our frying pan. Let's go over there. It does feel nice and hot. See what the recipe says for heat-wise. Just says place a pan over medium heat, which is exactly what we did. So I think we are good to go. The first one's always the most stressful, and then after that we can adjust some things if we feel like that's what we need to do. But this dough feels great. It's holding its shape really nice. A nice little sizzle when we put it in the pan. A little bit of smoke. And I think it says around 20 seconds a side. No, 1 to 2 minutes on each side until they puff up slightly. Maybe Sandy will be your pita cooker. It's burning, he says. It was too hot. So, now we know. We lost 1 pita for the good of the rest. Probably flip it over and maybe save it. It's a little too dark. So turn the pan down. We'll let it cool off for a minute or 2 before we start the next one. So come back over, oil up our Ziploc again. And flatten the next one out. About a teaspoon of oil is what I'm pouring down on there. Hey, betches. How are you? Welcome in. When betches can say hey, betches. The best. It's good to see you in here today. So there we go. Close up our Ziploc. Close up our press. Smoke alarm. Luckily, fuck, it's on the other side of the house in the living room, so I think we're okay. We haven't had any problems yet. In the other house, though, all the time. We don't even have to use the other side of the press to press this out. This is so easy. Way better than using a rolling pin. Okay. So, sacrificed our first pita for the good of the other 5. We know that our pan was just a little bit too hot, but we can already see that it was rising properly. So our dough is definitely made properly, and I think that's the most important part. It does seem like we got a little bit of charcoal buildup on here though from that pita. I'm just gonna scrape it off a bit. And that way that flavor won't transfer to the other ones that we cooked. And because that one kind of stuck a little bit, I think we might have to oil the pan as well. The noise, I'm sorry. This is a cooking show though. What would cooking be without all the noises? Such a huge part. And yeah, some noises are not good. Okay. I'm just gonna turn that actually to a low heat. And for a spritz Let's use a little bit of non-stick canola. A nice high heat. We don't want to use olive oil here because it actually might taste bitter if the heat gets too high. Bread, betches. Yeah, we're making pitas. We're learning. Sammy had one shot and he's already horizontal. Pretty accurate, Diffa. Betches, how are you doing today? What do I prefer to use? I still love gas the most. And luckily I get to use that at work. So I'm okay not using gas at home. Okay. So our pan is smoking again, but that's just from the oil. So let's try this one more time. It's on low heat. Burnt bread, not the best smell, but hey, you live and you learn. We'll watch this one a little bit more carefully too. Chicken while I'm doing these?
Sure.
Ooh, that's looking better.
Found it.
This kid, guys. This kid. Look at that pita, guys. Beautiful color. Yes. Blue, how are you? Have you tried the Romulan shatter yet? Nope. Not even I have. Nope.
I thought you did yesterday.
I did the Kush. Who's gonna eat all the food I make on Twitch? Ever thought about that? Usually I only make enough for 2 people, but I can always give it to my parents. We don't have cool neighbors, so we can't give them any. Sadly. Otherwise, I would love to share. But I always said, if you guys can find me, you're welcome to come over for lunch or dinner.
You want to have me a smaller available?
I was just going to use that bowl if you want. And while our pita is cooking, we'll do a couple more minutes. Or maybe a minute on that one. Let's line a plate with a nice towel so that it can stay warm. So line a plate with a dish towel. Why are the neighbors not nice? Because we've offered them free food in the past and they said no. Which to me doesn't make sense because I never turned down free food.
It was cookies at that.
Yeah, it was fresh baked cookies at that. Do a little bit more on this other side, but it does feel like it's perfectly cooked. When I press down on it, it springs back up in the center. That's usually a good indicator that it's cooked all the way through. So check this one out, guys. That's a nice looking pita. It's nice and fluffy. It's exactly what we're wanting. So now cover that up in your tea towel and keep it nice and warm. Moving on to our next one. Holy! Betches, thank you for the host. You're in upstate New York visiting family. Amazing. Yeah, you know what? We did make it home. It took a little bit longer than expected, but that's what happens when you travel. Is the chicken like just cooked, Sammy? Perfect. Yeah, we send the food over to Nike. If only, hey man. Why would anyone do that? I don't know. I have no idea. Trying to not make a mess here. we have too much, or yeah, maybe they had too much food at home, but let's say, who says no to a fresh baked cookie? That's craziness. Close it up. Press it down. Yeah, or they have allergies. Fair enough. Good point, Tim. But we're still judging them because they didn't take our food.
But they didn't say no, we have allergies.
It's true, yeah.
They just said that.
They could have been like, no, sorry, can't eat that. Okay. Stretch out this top part that didn't get pressed enough. We're going in over to the pan. Oh yeah, this is what you make? So Mikey's family makes like Ziploc bags and stuff.
Oh, cool.
It's family business. That's so cool, man. They're really handy. It's a good business to get into. Ah, really? The cam is out, dearie. It's doing its dumb thing. It says I got too hot. Thanks, Tim. I've been having issues with it still.
I don't think it's bad. Pretty sure it's...
Something with the battery in this thing.
We'll get another one of those other ones.
You've been going for 50 years on that business? That's so cool, man. Okay, so now it looks like our pan is cooled off enough. Just gonna turn the heat back up a touch.
I'm not sure I can press.
That's fine. There we go. Whoops. So let's check our little pita. You can see the little bubbles in there as well. We'll flip it over. Nice sizzle sound when we do that. That's exactly what we're looking for. Sammy's in the kitchen, guys. We're back. Have I ever cooked Japanese Wagyu on stream? I have not.
Battery.
I have not. I do enjoy it though. I just find like we get some really nice beef out here, betches, and sometimes it's almost like just as good as Wagyu for like half the price. So I'm a little bit picky about that. Okay, so Sammy has finished pulling all the chicken from the bones. So we're gonna put the bones back into our pot with the aromatics, and I'll set a half an hour timer to bring that up once more, get as much flavor as we can in there, and then we'll strain everything out and then move on to actually finishing the soup. What's the highest donation ever? I have some people that have given me like certain increments, but I think the highest has been around $250.
564 from Nike.
Was it 500?
Yeah.
Okay, it was around 500 then, and that was to go towards our New York trip, which we just got back from. Second pita.
But we always put the donations towards things that we need or upgrade the stream.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, we'll get this other pita in the pan, and then we'll put the chicken bones in there. hot to the limit. Excess juices. Push that down into there. So it's mostly all submerged. And then we'll set our 30 minutes. Still about a minute on there. There we go, guys. More steak streams. I gotta bring this in a touch. Yeah, we want more steak, hey betches? You want your belly wants the pita.
I'm down to do
Too.
another porterhouse.
Yeah, we like steak.
I don't know if we can get Japanese Wagyu from here.
Betches, you didn't realize how large the conversion is? It's so bad for us to travel to
It
the
was
States
so
right
bad.
now. Just like watching our bank accounts just like go down and down. We're like, this doesn't even make sense. As much as we love New York, I don't think it was worth it to go
So-
at this time.
We went for 6 days. We didn't pay anything for the hotel or the flight, and I still spent $1,600.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I didn't even eat that much food.
Yeah, we didn't even eat that much because Sammy's stomach was broken the whole time. It looks like a pancake, a Dutch pancake, not American. Yeah, it kind of does, hey? I actually really want to make those Dutch pancakes. What is it called? Abelskiver or something? But I need the special pan to make it still. But I'm down with that. I really love pancakes. Pannenkoeken, if you will. Flip the pita. Pannenkoeken.
Yeah, I don't have to put on the construction belt.
Ha, Sammy. That's how you name your Panacook. I know, I love that name. Pannenkoeken. Okay. Pita done. Put it into its little blanket where it's having a little nap. While we wait. Next one. Now we only have one left.
You have enough food in there until after lunch. You're really on there like the last little sips.
Okay, the hummingbirds.
Yep.
Our little birdies. Okay. Done those. So we still have to chop some fresh dill. That's what we're gonna move into. While we're waiting for our broth to finish up. So let's press this. People say Dutch is almost German.
No, it's not.
Well, Sammy is German and he says no. So you're all right, Tim. We know the truth here, man. We have, I think around 3 people from the Netherlands that usually watch the stream. If you're lucky, you'll be able to meet them at some point in chat. They're all really wonderful people. And there's also actually another food streamer that lives in the Netherlands. Her name is Claire_coffee if you want to check her out as well, Tim. A lot of good stuff going on over here right now on the stove top. So pita breads are done. All we have to do is dress our Greek salad, but it's already built and in the fridge waiting for us. We have our orzo ready for the broth, as well as our lemon juice. We have lemon zest ready for the garnish. And then just our little bit of dill. And we can also get into a little bit more history about what this soup actually is. I really like to go through that so that we can understand what we're making. Understand the flavors that we're looking for before we make it. So last pita is going into the pan. Done with our press. Alucard, you're from Greece. You've been watching me now and then. You decided to say hi since I'm making Greek soup. Amazing! Thank you so much. Feel free to give me any pointers if you feel like I am not making stuff correctly. But so far, I think I'm doing pretty good. America morning, rest of the day happy. China whole day happy. Dutch morning sad, rest of the day. What, Tim? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Zobo Cat, welcome back. I'm glad you came back. How are you doing today? Okay, let's flip our pita. Woo! Pan's getting almost too hot again. Turn it back down. Nike says, pass it this way. Whatever you're smoking, Tim, pass it along. We got you, man. Okay, so we can put our flour away. We didn't even need any flour to roll out the pitas, so that's awesome. Oh, Sammy. Affiliates are gonna get up to 5 tier 1 emotes. We are allowed 2 now. So we get to make a new emote.
Yeah.
Whoop whoop! Maybe we'll do a poll. Figure out what emote you guys want to see on stream. Okay, we can turn our pan off and just push it to the back so it can cool off. See, our broth is just coming to a simmer, so I'll turn that down a touch. We have 20 minutes to go on that. And we don't really have to watch it anymore. If we come over here, see what's underneath the towel. Some happiness. Are you guys ready? Look at those fluffy pitas. They worked so well. Smells so good. Sammy, you should have waited so that you could have had a fresh pita. Do you want some? You want a fresh pita snack? I think we should tear into one. But they're staying nice and warm under here, and they're also not drying out. So keep that together. I'll just set that aside for now. You're not sad, just chill. Only happy if something happy is happening. Just forget that you have weed. Hilarious. Defut cracked a beer for you, Sammy.
fuck? That means I need a beer.
The thing with the lemon and egg soup, Alucard says, our Greek helper today, is that you have to whisk it and add the broth little by little to match the temperature of the soup, and then pour it in like cream patisserie and turn off the heat. Don't even be sorry for the long text. You're helping us make something proper, so I feel like that's really important. Thank you for the heads up. Because yeah, I have not made this in like 8 years since culinary school. So it's even new for me. You guys ready for this?
The fuck? I can't let you drink alone.
Give him an excuse. Oh, wow. That might be some of the best pita I've ever eaten. Such a nice yeast flavor. It's so soft. Nice little char flavor from it being in a hot pan.
It's a good pita.
We have a good pita recipe, guys. Holy. We don't have to go that close, remember?
I know. It's focusing on the other one anyways.
So if you guys want to make this pita recipe at home, it is the middle link there. You've also done culinary school here in Greece. Amazing! That is the greatest. I also still want to come visit there.
That's a good pita.
It's a great pita, right? I could just eat that by itself. So make sure the soup isn't so hot that it turns the eggs to scrambled eggs. Okay. There is literally no middle ground here for this soup.
Nope.
The pressure is on.
Don't screw it up.
I'm scared. While we're waiting, we'll chop up our dill. And then we'll do our little bit of fun facts. Guess what, Tim? Marijuana or cannabis is also legal here in Canada, throughout the whole country.
Imagine if that was all weed on the counter.
Whew! This was weed. I think this stream would be a little bit different. I think this is going to be enough dill. Because dill is a pretty strong flavor. And we still want to taste all the other ingredients we used in the broth.
Well, technically it is dill weed.
Yeah, it is dill weed. You want to be specific.
Scaramouche.
Scaramouche. We have a scaramouche in here. I'm gonna take our eggs out right now as well. We got some duck eggs. First things first though, let's pick the dill from the stem. Dill! Turn off the soup for 10 minutes to cool it before adding the egg slowly and whisking. You'll be okay. Okay. So we have a little bit of time to go then. Thanks guys for all the tips today. That's actually like one of my favorite parts about streaming with you guys is that you're not scared to tell me how to do stuff either. And I really appreciate that because definitely say I don't know everything, but I do like to try to cook a lot of different cuisines. Show you guys that it's not as hard as we think it is to do these things. And plus it's always more fun when you have people together watching and learning all at once. Food is always better shared. I'm gonna keep eating this pita snack. You're getting ready for work. You want to check out the sexy food stuff? Okay. This will give you energy. We just finished baking the pitas off. Nice little Greek pitas to dip into our soup. I think you could totally use the stalks. But I don't want to make the broth any more dill flavored that we're going to get from the garnish, so I'm not going to put them in the broth this time. But you could save them and do something else with them for sure.
Last Monday we were at the top of the rocket this time. Before we started our long adventure home.
Yeah, last week we were still in New York at this time. Crazy, guys. Crazy. Thanks, Alucard. Yeah, the pitas turned out so well. They're really easy to make, I have to say. It's one of my favorite bread things to make.
Show your knife, it's all fixed, or you did it already?
Yeah, guys, my coworker fixed the chip in my knife. It feels brand new again. I'm so happy.
Good job with those herbs like nothing.
I know. Okay, so the dill, nice finely chopped so that we can disperse it evenly. It's the same dough as bread. Yeah, it's pretty similar.
That's awesome.
Yeah, look at that. No more chip in the knife. Whoop whoop. Makes me so happy. Do we still have the taste of pastrami in our mouths? I wish. I want to eat that forever, Scaramouche.
I have to make us. We're gonna make a pastrami.
We're gonna do our own little Cat's Deli stream. Okay, so dill and lemon zest for a garnish for our soup. You made a rack of lamb? Ooh. So check out the one that we picked up, Nifa. We got a really nice rack yesterday in Machosen, the farmland of lamb. So it was $26 for this, but the fat cap is so nice, and there's a lot of meat on it as well. Like, that's a fat rack. There's even meat like all the way through on the bone too. This is what we're cooking up tomorrow on stream. Kind of a Middle Eastern flavor or theme to it. Yeah, we will remember to use the fajita plate. It will be done. Okay, so Avgolemono soup. Let's get into this. What is this even? I do love the name of it. It's fun to say. So it literally means egg lemon when translated from Greek. It's a term used to define soups or sauces made with eggs and lemon juice, mixed with broth and heated until thickened to make a delicately silky, creamy, and tangy sauce or broth. The sauce is always made from the liquid in which the meats, fish, or vegetables have been cooked. So we've been working on this beautiful broth all day to mix it with our eggs and then make our soup. So really nice and flavorful. And the name in Arabic or Turkish literally means treatment or improvement. So it's going to improve whatever you're making it with. What is the origin of this soup? So a number of food historians trace the origins to Southern Europe, suggesting that the recipe traveled to Greece with Sephardic Jews.
Yeah.
The Bard Vioon has subscribed with Twitch Prime. Welcome back, Vioon. How are you doing? Thank you so much for the sub. His is getting effed up today too. We were having issues with the resubs yesterday as well. Both Sam's and Nike's did not work either. The heck, Vune? What's going on here? Anyways, though, how are you doing today, Vune? It's good to see you. So in Sephardic Jewish cuisine, Avgolemono is actually called salsa blanca. So it was prepared by Jews in Iberia before their expulsion from Spain. At the time, it was made with pomegranate juice or bitter orange juice, but not vinegar. After the popularization of lemon in the Mediterranean around the 10th century, the citrus became the standard souring agent instead of the pomegranate juice or bitter orange juice. Ah, you're on the phone right now. Okay, well that maybe makes sense. Your internet is dead? What? What happened? Thanks for the follow, Alucard. Welcome in. Okay, 9 minutes left on our broth. It's still simmering away nicely. So, the Jewish people from Spain were actually at the forefront of citrus cultivation during the Middle Ages, as they were growing citrus for the Sukkot festival in Spain. Therefore, the practice of using lemons in sauces first became widespread among them. This is very interesting. I did not think this was the history. In Greek homes, women usually make avgolemono with egg whites and egg yolks, so both parts of the egg, whereas professional chefs tend to omit the egg whites and thicken the sauce with cornstarch, which is not proper, right? But it does save money. So that's their little trick. We are not doing that today. We're going to do as traditional as possible. It says the whites may be beaten into a foam separately before mixing with the yolks and lemon juice, or the whole eggs may be beaten with the lemon juice, which I think is what we're going to do today. The starch of the rice or orzo contributes to stabilizing the emulsion, which is why we're adding orzo in today as well. In Greek villages, people make a kissing sound when adding the avgolemono to the soup or the dish. It is known as a magical trick to keep the egg from curdling. So we all gotta make kissing sounds when we put it into the soup and hope for the best. I'm looking at you guys. Someone doesn't make the sound, we're gonna blame you. Doesn't the lemon make the scrambled eggs curdle? Yeah, if you leave it in there long enough, the lemon will start to cook the egg. You've been to Spain, so have I, Tim. Is there a link for the soup recipe? There is. So I have started a recipe command as well, and it's actually the first link there. So the first link on the command is the soup, and then goes the pita, and then the Greek salad. Fiyun, according to the internet company, someone hooked something up to the local network that they shouldn't have, so they shut it down for everyone until they can find out what happened. Hilarious. So the egg must get fluffy. Okay. You guys are scaring me. There's so much pressure right now. Okay, let's go back to our recipe. Read all of the directions so that we don't mess anything up. So the first thing they did was make the broth and strained it. So raise the heat of the broth to a brisk simmer, add the orzo to the broth, and simmer until tender, about 6 minutes. Meanwhile, shred the chicken, which Sammy already did for us. Thanks, Sammy. Whisk the eggs with the lemon juice, so 2 eggs and 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. In a medium bowl. When the orzo is cooked, slowly ladle about half cup of broth into the egg mixture while whisking constantly. Pour back into the broth and cook, just until the broth returns to a simmer for about 2 minutes. Turn off the heat, add the chicken, and season. Does this sound correct, guys? Don't worry, we'll do fine. Thank you. Thank you for the positivity. I mean, I've cooked a lot of things in my life, but there's still some things that I'm unsure about. And to be a good cook in the kitchen is you need to have that confidence to try those new things. Perfect, Scat. I know you're still lurking. There's no problem with that. I'm sorry, Scaramouche. You might go to work hungry. Yeah, I think we'll garnish with a little bit of pepper. But we won't put it in too early because we don't want the broth to taste peppery, right? I mean, the longer the pepper stays in there, the more peppery it's going to taste. So we'll do that with our dill and lemon zest garnish. And we might even drizzle a little bit of the nice olive oil on top too, because I think that would be just nice. Okay, 4 minutes left on this broth. I'm feeling like we can strain it out now. I'm going to transfer this chicken. So we are reserving the 2 chicken breasts, and we're actually going to use dark meat in this because that's also going to have the most flavor. So now we have leftover chicken for dinner, or maybe even lunch tomorrow. Even this is a lot of chicken in this bowl for us. And it looks like we need to shred it just a little bit more. Think about eating this chicken in the soup is you don't want these big pieces because it's not even going to stay on your spoon. So break it up into bite-sized pieces so that it's easier to eat. So something that would fit on a soup spoon is the best way to go about that. And also you want to make sure that you take out any kind of tough pieces that have a lot of connective tissue because that's not very good either. And the legs actually have more connective tissue than the breasts. A couple more tendons in there to be aware of. So just make sure that you go over your chicken pretty closely. Sam failed at pulling chicken. I mean, I was being good and not saying anything. We already blamed him enough yesterday for the brioche. I was giving him a break today. To be fair though, I didn't instruct him to pull it into bite-sized pieces. Yeah. Sous chef was just doing his job. You could also dice it up. Yeah, you totally could. But I like the rustic part of pulling the chicken. I don't want any slimy skin pieces either. No thank you. You actually like the connective tissue. Yeah. I know some people can eat that part and be like, this is good, but I do not like it. It is a big turn off for me, so I'm going to take those pieces out. Mikey, so hungry. Yeah, Sam's not too stressed about it, exactly.
I already put a ring on it.
So now that means you can just do whatever you want? He thinks he can get away with it, guys. Gotta go get the wifey. Yeah, we'll probably be here, Nike. We'll see. You have a good ride, man. It's been great chilling with you today. Hopefully see you when you're back. And if not, I'll see you tomorrow for our lamb stream. -3 Fahrenheit. That's pretty cold, isn't it? Okay, that's our timer for our broth. Pretty perfect timing. I think I'm almost done pulling the chicken. I think that's good. I'm gonna transfer that to a bowl, and then we're gonna strain the broth back into here.
You guys have found that work repetition is much better nowadays than there used to be.
Pardon me, Sammy?
There's more connective tissue on chicken now than there used to be.
Yeah, totally.
It's almost like a turkey now.
And you guys can probably tell by the color of the chicken that it's literally just cooked. So we just cooked it to 145 Fahrenheit. Just enough so that we can pull it off the bone easily. And that way it won't be tough when we put it back into our soup. Oh, let's get our colander back in here. And start to pour this out. Be really careful, because it will splash when stuff starts to drop. Go slow to start. You can tell the color now is a lot deeper. We got more flavor into here. I can't wait to taste it. And so I'm gonna reserve some of this so that it can cool down, like you guys said, before we add the egg back in. Because we don't want to make scrambled eggs, is what you guys have been telling me. Pardon, Sammy?
Would it be smart to do it like you would a custard? Make some of the soup into the eggs?
Yeah, that's what we have to do.
Yeah, okay.
Must look away. Why, Scaramouche? Yeah, okay, we don't want to make you late for work. If you gotta go, we understand. You also add rice. So the recipe I'm following uses orzo.
Have a good day.
Bye, Scaramouche. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful day at worky. And hopefully we don't make you too late. You can just blame me, though. I'll take the blame for you. Okay, so reserve. What do you guys think? Like a cup of liquid? This looks so good.
Sorry, boss, I'm late. Why are you late?
Yeah, blame Kate.
What the fuck is that?
This pot's still hot. I'm gonna put a cloth under it. Pour our broth back in, and then we can start cooking the orzo in here as we're whisking our eggs and lemon together with the broth. So back over to the stovetop with this. You were away for a sex.
Good old iPhone autocorrect.
The best. Gotta love autocorrect. So medium heat for this. Yeah, what did you just say? It's okay, Tim. We don't judge here.
I judge.
Sammy sometimes judges. But he doesn't really do anything about it.
No.
bringing this back up to a simmer, and then we'll put our orzo in. Eggs. Lemon juice. So 2 eggs, 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. Put that into a bowl. We're gonna whisk the eggs together first, right? I think I actually might need a bigger bowl. Sammy, we're all out of bowls. We need one from upstairs.
What size?
Enough to fit the eggs, the lemon juice, and the broth. Medium. Ooh, eggs Benedict. Love that stuff. We've made that on stream before. Yes, we have. I'm actually going to taste the broth while we're waiting. Know what we're working with here, guys. That's important. It looks like it's really flavorful. Nice sweetness from the veggies. Got a good chicken flavor in there as well. And when we season it, those flavors will actually be more bright and come more to your palate. So if it tastes good already without salt, you know you're on the right track. Whisk. What's going on? An anonymous cheerer. Thanks so much for the 69 biddies. I love that. And we just got a raid from the Bachelor Life. Thanks so much, guys. I'm so happy to see that you're still streaming Bachelor Life.
I got a bowl.
Perfect, Sammy.
That we can bowl.
Yep. Sammy brought the bowl. How was the stream today? Thank you so much for the raid and the host. Okay, broth just come into a simmer, dropping in 1/3 of a cup of orzo. Just gonna give that a little stir and set a 6-minute timer, because that's supposedly how long it's gonna take to cook in the broth. You're back, Bachelor. Great. What did you guys make on stream today? Part 1 of 2 today. Nice. So 6 minutes to finish this stuff up. I think we can do it. Feeling good about it. So cracking our eggs into our bowl first. And these are actually duck eggs, so might actually make this a little bit more custardy. We shall see. We started a slow cooker Mojo Cuban pork. That sounds unreal. So what are you gonna do with it tomorrow? What's the second part? You gonna roast it? Or I guess you're slow cooking it. What are you gonna pair with it then? Okay, 2 eggies, whole eggs, whisk that up until it's smooth. Sorry about the sound. Roasted veggie medley, that sounds healthy. Sounds delicious, man. That's a great thing to start with. And so we want to whisk our eggs until all of the egg whites are combined with the yolk. We don't want any stringy parts in there. Really nice, even mixture. Kind of beat it up a bit. Oh, New York was so much fun, Bachelor. I don't know if you're able to tune into any of those streams, but we really had a blast exploring there and sharing our experience with everyone. Your body's saying, what's the sound? Make it stop. Okay, so 3 tablespoons of lemon juice going into these eggs. We have 3 minutes to go on our orzo. And we need to strain this out still. No seeds, guys. No seeds in the lemon juice. Pashi! Sammy, can you please let her out? She's scratching. And she's getting nervous, so she's scratching her face.
Oh, God.
A baby food spoon. These are my measuring spoons. I like colorful things. You probably don't know that yet because this is your first day in here. And when you're a chef working in kitchens, it's always good to have things that are different so you can tell them apart. And that way no one's going to steal your stuff.
The fuck, I already wanted that.
Cracked another beer. Keep up, Sammy. Ooh, Mikey's making a coffee. We'll be here, man. So whisk in the lemon juice. Wow, that's already changing the texture. Crazy. So at first it kind of thickened it, and now it's looking more loose and watery. How do you get a crown by your name? That means they have Twitch Prime. Just go out a solo win by trapping someone in the storm. The best, Ryan. Okay, so whisk the eggs with the lemon juice in a bowl. When the orzo is cooked, ladle about half a cup of the broth into the egg mixture while whisking constantly. And then slowly pour it back into the broth, which we just need at a simmer, right, guys? Because we want our broth to not be boiling, because then you make scrambled eggs. There's about a minute left here, so I'm going to turn this down. And actually, I'm just going to even turn it off. Let the orzo finish cooking in that. Let's whisk in our half a cup of broth. Make sure we measure it out. Those are the links for the recipes. So the first link there is the soup that we're working on right now. Middle one is the pitas that we made earlier. So whisk in the broth while constantly stirring because it's warm, right? So you don't want the broth to cook the eggs, really. So far so good. Now it's a watery mixture. Feeling good about it, guys. Pour that extra broth back into the pot. Gonna close the blinds a little bit. We're like an angel basking in the sunlight. Okay, the moment we've been waiting for. You guys ready? Are we ready? So over to the stove. Let's do this. We're scared. This is the moment. So get this broth swirling. And we're gonna slowly whisk this in. Slow, slow. want scrambled eggs. You just want the eggs to help thicken the broth. And then the orzo or the rice actually helps contribute to that and make it nice and silky. I think so far, so good, guys. This is looking really nice. And then all we have to do is put the chicken in and we'll season this up. Scat, we're doing it. We're doing it. Yum. Chicken's going in. I think I'll just put that on a little low heat right now while we season it. I think we did it. We did it. You're back, Mikey. Yeah, enjoy your coffee. Okay, let's taste this. So there's no scrambled eggs that I see, so I think we did all right. I really like the lemon flavor. It's not like super acidic, but you definitely get that there's lemon in there. So just a touch of pepper. We're gonna go more of like a fine grind here. Definitely don't want to overpower the delicate broth. And then for salt, we'll add, I think 2 teaspoons to start. And then we'll stir it and taste it, and then add more if we need. I think we do need a touch more salt. Maybe about a teaspoon more. Because it is quite a bit of soup here. Like at least 6 servings, I would say. So 1 more teaspoon of salt. Mix it in. Give it a taste. Okay, that's perfect. So that's starting to draw out the flavor of the chicken and the veggies from the broth. Definitely where you went wrong. You didn't do the premix method. Now we know, Scat. I'm so happy that we actually figured this out. Ryan, have I ever played Fortnite maybe for like 5 minutes when Sam was in the bathroom?
Like, don't let me die.
It's too hard. I've never played mouse and keyboard games, so I would just die all the time if I played that game. Thanks, Alucard. Okay, so that's just hot on the stovetop. Quick little dress of our salad. So let's come back over here. Pre-made our Greek salad, cucumber, tomato, pepper, Kalamata olives, feta chunks, and we did some thinly sliced shallot instead of red onion today. And what we need to dress this is some nice olive oil, so extra virgin olive oil, some red wine vinegar, and some dried oregano. Actually, probably that. Grab our oregano. I think I'll start with the vinegar. Just gonna pour it into a spoon, I think is the best, and then we can disperse it. So like a loose vinaigrette is what we'll call this. And this is the traditional way to serve Greek salad. Yeah, can you send it over? Would love to, Mikey. Would love to for ya. It's actually really easy salad to make. And now our olive oil, which I think we can just drizzle this over top. So we'll start in the center and then just go out from there. Something like that. Now we'll finish off with our sprinkling of dried oregano. Be careful here, guys, because this is a really strong dried herb. So you don't need much to get the flavoring. Literally just a pinch or two. And then we'll just put a little bit of salt on top. But not too much because the feta and olives are already pretty salty. But we do want to make sure we get enough seasoning for our vegetables, which aren't salted. And most of them are pretty sweet and juicy. So you will need that touch of seasoning. So there's our beautiful Greek salad. I know I might get yelled at for using the sweet peppers, but I just don't like green peppers that much. And it is very traditional to do big chunks of feta like this as well. So I'll just take a quick photo of that. And then it's time to plate the soup. I don't really know how to explain vinegar if you don't know what the word is. But I'm sure you could definitely translate it on Google.
Oh, yeah.
It's an acidic liquid.
Hello, I take it Avenue. Missed the stream again.
No, Mama. You didn't miss the entire stream again. 10 months in a row, though, Mama. Thank you so much. You are working your way up to a VIP status. Love it. How are you doing, Mama? You've not missed the whole stream. We're just plating up now. What are we thinking, guys? A black bowl or a white bowl? I think it would look really good in a black colored bowl. Get some contrast. Like this bowl? Yeah. Yeah, we're taking photos, so we're getting there, Mama. Yeah, it was an earlier stream today, because we're having lunch. Having lunchy lunch. So let's get our ladle. That's great to hear, Mama. You taking care of the kidlets today? Try and get some nice pieces of chicken, some of the orzo in the mixture as well. It's definitely a hearty soup. Lots of meat in there. But I think the broth is the best part. Look how good that looks. I think it's pretty healthy too. Trying to wipe the edges. I did not know that Sven was like right in Amsterdam. Happy Chef TV. Okay, so garnish with a little bit of lemon zest for that extra lemon flavor, but no more acidity. It's already balanced enough. You had Sky, you pick her up from school every day. Oh, that's amazing. Don't need too much lemon zest. And then our other garnish is just some chopped dill. We don't need too much of that either. I'd say that's probably good. It is quite a strong flavor. Maybe a touch more. And both of these things are going to add a nice bright flavor to the soup. And then, so I'll put these two things in the front for you guys to look at. And then to finish off the meal, some amazing homemade pita breads that are actually still warm. So how about that, guys? That's what we made today on stream. Some nice traditional Greek food. Aw, thanks so much, Mama. Yeah, we're really happy about the engagement. Sammy definitely surprised me. The ring is away getting sized right now, if you guys are wondering where it is. It takes 3 weeks. Yum. I'm gonna try and get a photo with all of these ting-tings in it. And now we eat. Yep. Okay, Sammy Sam.
Okay, Sammy Sam.
Thanks, Scat. I'm feeling really good about it. Now we get to taste everything together and hope for the best. Oh, he's in Belgium. Okay. Okay, that makes more sense. Another lovely place to visit. Okay. So let's mix our garnish in there. I think we should have used a bit more orzo, but I was just following the recipe. But at least we have the pita on the side to fill us up more. Mmm. The flavor from the broth is so pure. Like, you can clearly taste the chicken and the vegetables that we use. Mama, you're going to cooking lessons with Sky at school for the next 5 weeks? We're making a spaghetti bowl tomorrow. Amazing. Aw. You're gonna have so much fun. And she's only 5 years old. Good. Start 'em young, Mama. And when she's old enough, she can watch Cook with Kate and learn even more things. This is super good. Scat, thank you so much for requesting that. And thank you so much for everything you've done for the stream. I really appreciate it.
Is the orzo in here?
The orzo is in there.
Oh, okay.
And because we didn't overcook the chicken, it's still really nice and tender. Mmm. The little bit of dill and lemon zest I think is perfect as well. Post up this pita over here because I know you guys want to look at that. I'm on too late for her. Oh, that's true. She's seen cookery though. Oh, good. As long as she's seen
That's
somebody.
delicious.
Thanks, Sammy. Yeah, for something so simple.
Get the richness from the eggs.
Yeah, this is so good.
Chicken's just cooked.
Okay, Vune. Take care, man. Hopefully
Later,
we'll see
homie.
you tomorrow. If not, I hope you have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next week for sure. Thank you for the resub as well. So good, Sammy Sam. I'm gonna lift up my bowl and actually start eating this. 'Cause it's actually really good. Yum. So, Mama, we made a Greek soup today. It's called Avgolemono. So it has, obviously, a chicken broth with pulled chicken, some orzo, and then you kind of thicken the broth by mixing eggs and lemon juice together and a little bit of the broth, and then slowly whisking it back in to get kind of a creamy consistency, but not scrambled eggs. And then we made a Greek salad with some fresh pita bread on the side. You're so welcome, Scott. I love to do these kinds of things for you guys.
That was yummy.
Yeah?
Yep.
And how long did it take us? 3.5 hours to do this all by hand? That's pretty good.
5 minutes for Sam to crush a bowl.
Yeah, gone in 5 minutes for Sammy. Classic. Was it good, Sammy Sam? Nice fresh veggies. Yeah, the olives are really good, I have to say. It's making my nose run, guys. This is definitely an awesome dish to make when it's still cold out, too. It'll warm me up. I love soup in the wintertime. Have we thought about a date? We have, Mama. It'll probably be a year from now. So February next year.
2020.
2020. Sounds good, Alucard. I'm glad you are happy with everything that I did. That really means a lot to me to have someone from Greece help me out on the stream. So thank you for that, and I hope you have a wonderful day as well. You'll get your suit ready. Yes, Mikey. And it's going to be in Mexico, guys. We're doing a destination wedding at this really lovely resort called El Dorado. And the thing that drew us to that resort is, one, it's adults only. So I'm sorry, kiddos, I love you, but I can't handle the screaming and running around. I love the adults only part. And they also have, if you guys know the smoker that we use, or the barbecue, the big green egg, they have like 5 of those on the beach. And they also have their own greenhouse on site where they grow all their own vegetables for the resort. So for Sammy and I to go there, that means a lot to us. Those are some of the key factors. Yeah, there's no hurry, for sure not. But I'm gonna go with the time off that I get from work, so either February or October. And the best time to go to Mexico is in February, so that kind of works out perfectly. That's when your son's getting married. They're thinking Vegas. Sammy said the same thing, and my mom was like, no! Go to Costa Rica, you can hook us up. Ooh. We already kind of got a hookup for this resort, though. But thank you, DeFuck. Maybe we'll go to Costa for our honeymoon or something. Bye, Tim! Thanks for chilling with us today. Hope you have a good sleep. Okay, a couple more things of soup. Maybe have a little dippy dip of our fluffy pita in the broth. Sammy's just gonna steal my broth. Sharing is caring now. We really don't have this choice anymore, guys.
You never had the choice.
He wants you guys to go to Vegas, Mama, but you can't see you guys going there. It is pretty far, hey?
Maybe the cheapest flight, so.
This pita is too good. Could just eat that with the broth and I'd be happy. The insurance. Ah, that too, I guess. You're crashing it. Let's do it, Scat. You'll be in the back with a sombrero on. I'm not opposed to this. I can't deny you guys of that. Okay, we had our soup. Now let's have some veggies. Balance it out. The insurance costs more than the holiday? Whoa. So we got traveler's insurance for when we went to New York. What did it cost, Sammy?
$41.
For both of us or each? So $40 for the two of us to go to New York for a week was our insurance. So it's obviously a lot cheaper here in Canada. Costa for a vacation or honeymoon is a good idea. That's what I thought, the fuck. Or maybe Southeast Asia. Which I've been itching to take Sammy to. But if we go all the way there, then we have to make the trip worth it and stay like 3 weeks at a time.
Where am I going?
I said, or maybe Southeast Asia. It costs almost $2,000 in pounds for two of you for insurance? That's insane, Mama. That is insane. Most weddings in Costa are at a hotel or resort, but vacations have many options. That is true.
Oh, yeah.
This salad is really satisfying too. I think perfect amount of dressing. Okay, guys. We are going to end the stream. We're going to raid someone. Of course. Spread the love.
Hitch.
Is Hitch on?
Yeah.
I think we might go raid Hitch. Since he's streaming again. And it's been a while. Because of your medical history. Okay, that makes sense then. Dang, I'm sad for you then, Mama. If the insurance is keeping you from traveling, that doesn't really make sense, right? Night, night, Mikey. Thanks for hanging out, and no problem. I'm always down to make our wonderful viewers mods if they want that designation and responsibility. Hope you have a good one, man. Okay. Let's go, guys. Raid and Hitch. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks for hanging out and cooking some Greek food with me. Hopefully you learned something, because I definitely did. With even the help from you guys. So that was really fun for me today. We will be back tomorrow cooking dinner. So you guys saw the lamb wrap that we're cooking tomorrow. And that's going to go with some lentils that we also picked up yesterday from the farm. Some nice black lentils. So I'll teach you guys how to cook that. As well as some broccoli and cauliflower charred up. So that's the menu for tomorrow. I will be live at 3 p.m. PST. So see you then. And thanks for all of the biddies and the resubs and the follows today. Bye, guys. Such a fun stream and delicious. Let's get ready. And we're going in. Bye.